Welcome to SVG-TV News for Wednesday, 22nd August 2018. I'm Yvette Bowens with the details. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade is pushing for local service providers to get on board with export and trade. To aid in this process, a workshop is being organized for them next week from August 28th to the 30th. Invest SVG and the Coalition Services Industries are also on board with this initiative. In an interview with SVG-TV News today, Invest SVG's investment facilitator Shanna Brown says they welcome such a program which will greatly benefit the services sector.
Towards doing an export marketing plan. You know, as they say, if you fail to plan, then you basically plan to fail. And we want to equip our service providers who sometimes they fall through the cracks. You know, we basically try to, most places focus on, the goods, something that they can see and feel and touch. But the services, they bring a lot to the table, especially for Simmons and the Grenadines, where our creative industries are concerned. I think that we have the potential to be doing a lot more, especially with agreements such as the EPA and so forth.
Trade and Investment Officer within the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Akila Samuels, said many persons are not aware that they are exporting in some way or the other and need to be trained to enhance their export readiness.
Persons do not realize is that once a foreigner pays you for a particular service, you are exporting. There is also the misconception that many service providers are small. That might be true, yes, however, you are not too small to export. Once you are flexible, once you are innovative and you are prepared, you are on your way to being exporting.
The Coalition of Services Industries has 30 service providers registered, and its chair, Desmond Pompey, said they are anticipating a productive workshop.
We have accounting services, we have health services, and I think they are at the highest of standard. We have construction services. We could provide management services, finance services, all of the services that investors will need, they can get here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And we are working to help people to recognize that these services are needed and they are in a position to export these services.
The workshop will have presentations from local and regional facilitators and will be held at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. As the nation's children make their preparations for the start of the new school year in September, some of them can look forward to increased transportation options. This as the government of South Korea handed over a school bus worth some $240,000 to the government of SVG yesterday. The bus has the capacity to seat 30 passengers. Minister of Foreign Affairs, Sir Louis Straker, said the bus is a welcome addition to the current fleet. He said the donation is one example of South Korea's continued assistance to St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
As a developing country, we have always felt that we must make our foreign policy work for us, not only diplomatically, but economically, and whatever we can receive in order to enhance the well-being and the comfort of our grown-ups as well as our children. This bus will be on the road very soon, and it would show up the other school buses because it's the newest one, newest boy on the block. And we are very, very grateful to the government of South Korea. Korea has been a great benefactor in donating a lot of stuff to us in the field of health, technical assistance, in education, whatever we need, whatever we ask Korea for, Korea has provided for us, and we are grateful that despite the fact that it is encountering some challenges north of the border, when it could be looking inwards in order to spend money for its own security and protection, it can still reach out to us in a bilateral way and provide for the needs of our children here.
Sir Louis is urging students to exercise care while using the bus and thanked the Korean government for the gift.
of South Korea that we are using here, and we can only show appreciation when we use it very wisely. And so we want to thank you, Ambassador, who is making his very first trip here to St. Vincent as the accredited ambassador with his wife, and we're grateful that he can make his first visit so meaningful by bringing us the gift of a school bus for the benefit of our children. And so please convey to your government and the people of South Korea our very deep appreciation and our thanks for giving us this wonderful gift. And we hope that this will be a means of cementing our strong relationship even further as we work together bilaterally, internationally, in order to promote the interests of our two peoples. God bless you and thank you very much.
Meanwhile, South Korea's ambassador to SVG, Song Moon-up, said this country and South Korea share 40 years of good relations and expressed hope that the bus would be of assistance to children in need.
I think that for the students to make their commute more convenient and more easier is one of also they're consolidating our partnership. So I'm so happy in that sense to have the ceremony of handover of this school bus. And this also the school bus will serve for the students for the next semester, which will soon start. So for the students who is in the remote areas, I hope this bus could serve for the easier commuting and for the betterment. So thank you again.
The Carnival Development Corporation yesterday presented over 100 prizes to winners in the 2018 Vincy Mas festivities. The big names in Pan, Calypso, Mas, and Soca received their prize monies and trophies at yesterday's ceremony, which was held at Murray Heights Hotel. Among the big names were 2018 Band of the Year winner SVG Players International, whose production this year was Legends of Soca Monarch, the best of the best. The Flo Sign Hill Orchestra, who copped the Senior Panorama title, was also rewarded, as was National Calypso Monarch Zamfo Manzangi Adams. Fimba Jardine collected first prize winnings for copping the double, the Raga Soca Monarch and Road March titles. CDC Chairman Ricardo Adams said Vincy Mas 2018 was a success, especially in the rural areas.
The rural carnivals had an excellent year this year. In fact, I think that we need to speak to the rural committees and the police services in the rural committees, because I get the impression some of the rural carnivals, the jump-ups, are outgrowing the streets that they're on. So maybe we need to figure out how to get them onto larger roads or bigger spaces or longer routes. But again, wonderful attendance, really hard work put in by the rural committees, and an absolutely wonderful build-up to Vincy Mas.
The CDC also saw more artists and soca music being played. While this is a plus for Vincy Mas, Adams said SVG lacks local technicians.
Is of the view that aside from the training of the Calypsonians and the soca artists and the masked men and the Miss SVG delegates, the time is now for us to begin looking at training producers, people in sound engineering, people in light engineering, and people who can then work in the backgrounds to be able to elevate our shows. And
Meanwhile, Chairman of the National Lotteries Authority, Murray Bullock, has called for more support from all stakeholders to come on board in sponsoring the festival.
Resources have to be put by central government into the running of Carnival. I'm pleased to hear Mr. Adams announce that over 6,000 visitors were brought here by air. How is that being translated to revenues for CDC? When CDC foots the bill to promote Vincy Mas, and Vincy Mas is your brand, you are the ones who promote and pay for Vincy Mas.
While the CDC dubbed Vincy Mas 2018 a success, there are several areas that have been singled out for improvements. SVG has recorded yet another homicide with the stabbing death of Brenda Lane. Lane, a 48-year-old security guard and mother of 6, was standing in the vicinity of the Leeward bus terminal when she was fatally wounded by an assailant. Reports indicate that she was rushed to the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital, where she succumbed to her injuries. The police say they have one suspect in custody who is assisting them with investigations into Lane's death. Meanwhile, SVG-TV was able to solicit the views of members of the public regarding the current crime situation here.
I don't like what's going on in the country. I don't like what's taking place in the country right now. And I don't know what's causing that. So people decide to share more, issues about what's going on, because what's going on is wrong. Right now they start to take a turn on women, so I don't know what's going on.
I think that what we probably need that would help to solve the crime problem is better trained detectives, for one, and we need resources that would allow the police to investigate all of the crimes that occur in the country. So one, better resources and better trained officers or detectives, okay? And also more of them, okay? All right?
The reason why the crime is getting so bad is that persons are unwilling to report what they know to the police. So I think that if the police form a better relationship with the public, then persons will be more willing to contribute what they know about the crime.
As a school youth I be, right? I mean, I have to protect me and stuff. I mean, the police today to more patrolling the business space and stuff like that. Because the crime had gone up. Look today, they say a lady got stabbed up and stuff like that. I think more police need to be on the road and patrolling the stuff and stuff like that. I mean, we will safe because we are kidnapping and stuff and chopping up and stuff like that. I mean, if people hear that from like overseas and stuff like that, that will like drop the tourism rates and stuff like that, and the money will come in. So I think the police need to patrol more and stuff like that.
My brother, in terms of crime in the place, the rate of crime is going up because I think one of the main things for crime in this country is unemployment. Unemployment. Too many of our young people are unemployed, people with talent, people with creativity, and things like that. And when people cannot get to utilize their creative ability and things like that, they end up being frustrated, especially young people. And as young people, they turn to adverse activities. Also, deportees who coming back to the islands, they are more complex doing things. So because they have that experience, they are able to infiltrate a number of institutions and a number of individuals as well within the mind. You know?
Well, I don't know what could be done because the police don't care do nothing, so me know could be done. And that's about they need to take them to the gallows because I feel that will help them stop. Because they like to kill and afraid to die. So carry them to the gallows. No, not the gallows. You need a shock and chain.
The local police force is calling on the public to work with the organization in its efforts to curb crime. This call was made by Assistant Police Commissioner Christopher Benjamin as he spoke with SVG-TV News on Monday discussing solutions to the crime situation. Benjamin said the police cannot be everywhere and as such, the cooperation of the public is critical.
Before the crime is being committed, there are people who may see something that may lead up to that crime itself, and what you think may be insignificant may be very important to help solve crime. Because you may say, it's not my business, it's not me, but who knows, the next day can be you and you want somebody to come forward. So we have to work together to solve a lot of the issues that we are facing with here. We are doing our best, but we are working hard. We just have to work smarter. We just need to communicate more, because if everybody doing something and we're not communicating, which means we're burning our candles at both ends. So we need to have that information going to and fro so that we can be successful.
Assistant Commissioner of Police Richard Brown gave the assurance that information received from the public will be treated with strict confidentiality.
Information is given to us will be held in the strictest of confidentiality. Okay, so we are urging persons again to give us the information. You do not have to give your name, you do not have to give where you live or anything. You just call to my office, Central Police Station. You can call the deputy, you can call the commissioner, whoever you wish to ask for to speak with that you believe would hold your information in confidence. You call them and you relay the information. We are not asking you for your name, anything like that. Just give us the information. However small or insignificant you believe the information might be, it might be important to us. So we're asking the general public again, please, whatever information you have, give it, pass it over, and let us deal with the issues that we have to deal with in solving crimes in this country.
The body of an elderly woman of Byra was found in the Goss Hills this afternoon. Eve Peters of Byra is said to have been missing for 2 days. A search party found her body sometime after 3 this afternoon.